Hey everyone! You know how we at Star Talk are always on about exploring the universe and uncovering its mysteries? Well, in the vast expanse of human knowledge, there are these things called research gaps, uncharted territories waiting for curious minds to explore. Now, a research gap is essentially an area where we don't have all the answers yet. Just like astronomers searching for exoplanets or physicists trying to understand dark matter, researchers in every field are constantly on the lookout for these gaps. Why? Because that's where the truly groundbreaking discoveries lie. Identifying these gaps is crucial. By addressing these gaps, researchers can contribute original knowledge, ensure their studies are relevant, and avoid simply repeating what's already been done. So, buckle up as we embark on a journey to explore the different types of research gaps that exist. Let's start with theoretical gaps. Imagine two rival theories trying to explain the same phenomenon, like two celestial bodies locked in a gravitational dance. Each theory offers a different perspective, a different way of understanding the universe. But what happens when neither theory can fully explain everything? That's where theoretical gaps come in. There's a missing link, a need for a new model or perspective that can reconcile these conflicting ideas and provide a more comprehensive understanding. Exploring theoretical gaps is like venturing into the unknown depths of space. Think of Einstein's theory of relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of gravity. Next up, we have empirical gaps. These gaps are all about data, or rather, the lack of it. Imagine you're an astronomer trying to study a distant galaxy, but your telescope isn't powerful enough to gather clear images. That's the essence of an empirical gap. When there's not enough data to draw definitive conclusions, or when existing findings are inconsistent. Addressing empirical gaps often involves conducting more research, collecting more data, and using more robust methodologies. Think of how medical researchers conduct clinical trials to test the effectiveness of new treatments. They're constantly striving to fill empirical gaps and provide evidence-based solutions to improve human health. Now let's talk about methodological gaps. Imagine you're a biologist trying to study microscopic organisms, but you're limited by the magnification power of your microscope. That's what a methodological gap feels like, a limitation in the research methods used in previous studies. Bridging methodological gaps often involves developing new research methods, adapting existing ones, or combining different approaches to gain a more comprehensive understanding. Think of how the invention of the telescope revolutionized astronomy. Similarly, advancements in imaging technology, data analysis techniques, and research methodologies continue to push the boundaries of knowledge in countless fields. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece with a blunt brush. Moving on, we have contextual gaps. Imagine a study on social behavior conducted solely in a bustling metropolis. The findings might not hold true for a remote village with a completely different cultural context. These gaps highlight the limitations of research that's confined to specific contexts, whether geographical, cultural, demographic, or otherwise. To address contextual gaps, researchers need to broaden their horizons and consider diverse perspectives. Conducting comparative studies across different cultures, societies, or environments can provide a more nuanced and holistic understanding of the phenomenon under investigation. Remember, the universe is incredibly diverse, and our research should reflect that. Now let's shed light on population gaps. Imagine a medical study that primarily focuses on one gender or age group. The findings might not be applicable to other demographics. That's the essence of a population gap, when certain groups are underrepresented in research. To address population gaps, researchers need to ensure diversity and inclusivity in their studies. This involves recruiting participants from different backgrounds, considering intersectionality, and analyzing data through a lens of equity. By addressing population gaps, we can ensure that our findings are relevant and applicable to a wider range of people. Next, we delve into conceptual gaps. Imagine trying to build a house without a clear understanding of what constitutes a wall or a foundation. Conceptual gaps arise when key concepts or definitions are unclear, evolving, or missing from existing literature. Addressing conceptual gaps often involves revisiting existing definitions, proposing new ones, or developing conceptual frameworks that provide clarity and consistency. Just like a strong foundation is essential for a sturdy structure, Clear and well-defined concepts are crucial for building a solid foundation of knowledge. By addressing conceptual gaps, researchers can ensure that their work is built on a solid framework of understanding. Finally, let's explore practical or application gaps. Imagine a groundbreaking scientific discovery that remains confined to the laboratory, its potential benefits unrealized in the real world. That's the essence of a practical gap, the disconnect between theoretical knowledge and its practical application. Bridging practical gaps often involves translating research findings into tangible solutions, developing practical guidelines, or conducting pilot studies to test the feasibility of implementing research in real-world settings. Remember, knowledge is most valuable when it's used to make a positive impact. By addressing practical gaps, researchers can ensure that their work translates into meaningful change and improves people's lives. So, as we've seen, research gaps are like cosmic signposts pointing us towards uncharted territories of knowledge. By identifying and addressing these gaps, researchers can make significant contributions to their fields and advance our understanding of the world around us. Remember, identifying research gaps is an ongoing process. It requires critical thinking, a curious mind, and a willingness to challenge existing assumptions. By embracing the unknown and asking the right questions, we can unlock new discoveries and push the boundaries of human knowledge. Have you identified a research gap in your field? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.